Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lisa and I produce beauty related content here on YouTube. Beauty chit chat, reviews, tutorials, all that kind of stuff. I also have a blog, madeupmom.com, where I share not only beauty but other things as it relates to my life. I have a passion for fitness and nutrition, so I share a little bit about that, my family, motherhood, all that good stuff. So I hope that you will check that out. Today's video is going to be on this makeup tutorial, on this makeup look. It's a super simple makeup look. It's really nothing special or difficult, but I have found myself wearing this makeup for the last week or so, and it requires very little products in terms of the eyes and the lips. There's not a lot to it. It's quick, it's easy, and I think it's a nice put together look for summertime. So I thought that I would share this with you guys. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so for eyes, I'm going to start with the Bobbi Brown eyeshadow crayon. It's actually technically called the Longwear Cream Shadow Stick. So it's a cream eyeshadow in a stick packaging. This is a dual end, so it has one shade on one end called Truffle and the other shade is called Bronze. The bronze is pretty much just like it sounds. It's just a really pretty golden bronze. And then Truffle is this beautiful kind of champagne shimmer shade right below that. So I'm going to start with just taking the bronze shade and really just running this all across my eyelid from the lash line to about the crease. This is so soft and it goes on so easily. There's really not a lot of effort that goes into this. And I'm going to take my fingers and I'm just going to soften the crease just so that it blends into my skin nicely and you can't see that really defined line of where the product stops. I like this because it really does look like part of your skin. It's just so creamy and thin. It's not a real thick product and it's not really drying. Sometimes I find shadow stick or cream shadow sticks can be a little drier than like a cream shadow in a pot, but these aren't. They feel really creamy and they glide on really easily. So I definitely like that. Then I'm going to take the shade Truffle on the other side and I'm just going to go right in the inner corner of my eyes, just to brighten that area up a little bit, and then just softly kind of pat it with my finger. I don't want to blend it too much with my finger because I don't want to blend it away. I just want to pat it just so that it kind of goes into one with that bronze shade. Then I'm going to go in the inner corner here on the bottom lash line, and I'm going to put a little bit of that shade right there too to brighten up there. Then I'm going to go ahead and run the bronze on my lower lash line as well. I am going to go over this with an eyeshadow to give it more definition, but I wanted to have some type of base there for basically like a primer to give the shadow something to adhere to. Next, for my brow highlight, I'm going to go into the Persona Identity palette and I'm going to mix the two lightest shades in the palette. It's Humble and then this shadow Sassy right here. Sassy is really metallic, so I'm using Humble to kind of tone down some of that frost. And then Humble is a little too, it's not as bright as I want it, so I'm using the Sassy to brighten that up. And I want to keep this highlight subtle. These shadows are really pigmented, so you want to be careful not to apply too much because it could get just too, you don't want it to be too shimmery or too intense. Okay. Next, I'm going to go into the palette and I'm just going to take this shadow here called Charming and I'm going to just blend this into my crease a little bit. This just kind of completes the look. It's not necessary, but I do think that it just adds a little bit more of a polished look to the eye, a little bit more made up. But on the days that you don't really have much going on and you just want a little something on your eye but you don't want to look overly made up, you could just use the cream shadow stick. Okay, so for the next step, on the lower lash line, I'm going to go over that cream shadow stick with this shade here. It's called Chic and it's a really beautiful dark purple. And I'm just going to run that directly on top of the cream shadow stick. I like this shade because it's definitely purple, but it's not like in your face purple. So it works really well when you're doing a bronze eye or more of a neutral eyelid. It works well as a liner to add just a little bit of an interest to the look, add a little color, but not be completely out of left field. Also, if you have colored eyes like green or blue eyes, this is a fun way to bring those out a little bit more when you're doing a really neutral basic eye. Okay, next I'm going to run an inner rim brightener in the inner rim of my eye, and I'm using this one by Kryolan. This is the 905 pencil. This is probably my favorite for lining the inner rim because the color is just perfect. It's not too bright, but it's not too yellow either. It's just a really perfect shade. It's also really creamy and soft, so it goes on really easily. You don't have to go back and forth and layer it, which when you're working in the inner eye like that, you don't want to have to do that because it's very irritating to the eye. And it's really inexpensive. It's like $6.50 or $7, I think. Okay, I want to intensify that lower lash line just a bit. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to grab a little bit more of that shadow, the Chic, and I'm going to just build it a little bit more. I want it to be a little more intense. For mascara, I'm going to use my tried and true, my Dior Lash Primer and my Chanel Le Volume Mascara. I recently got a lash tint and lift. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically like a perm for your lashes. And so my lashes, I mean, this is without them being curled. So this is my lashes with no mascara, and I didn't curl my lashes. So the lash lift was pretty impressive, the before and after results. I'll actually do a video if that's something that you guys want to see. I didn't actually film the process, but I did take pictures before, during, and then after, and I can talk to you a little bit about that whole procedure. But it has made such a difference in the way that my mascara applies. So I'm not even gonna curl my lashes. I'm just gonna go in and apply the lash primer first. This is the fresh tube. I got this at the Nordstrom mascara event. If you're not familiar with that event, they do it once a year, 1 day a year. And if you buy 2 mascaras, you get your 3rd free, and it can be any mascara. So I bought 2 Chanel Le Volumes, and then I got my Dior Lash Primer for free. Since I'm not doing liner on my top lashes, I am gonna layer this mascara so that they're really dramatic and make sure that the base of my lashes looks nice and thick. Got a little bit of mascara on my eyelids. So whenever that happens, just resist the urge to clean it right away. Let it dry. Once it completely dries, you can just flake it away with a clean makeup brush or with the makeup brush that you use to apply your eyeshadow. Most mascaras, they shouldn't adhere to skin. They're designed to adhere to hair. So if you let it dry, it should just flake off without ruining or smudging your makeup. Okay, and then I'm going to apply some on my lower lashes. All right, I think that mascara is dry, but I'm not sure, so I'm gonna still leave it, move on to lips, and then I'll remove it at the last step. Okay, for lips, I have been loving this new product that I recently picked up. It's by Soap & Glory, and I got it out at Walgreens. It's called a gloss stick, and it just looks like this. It basically looks like a glossy lip crayon. I particularly love this color. The name of this shade is Pinkaboo, and I just think it's the most beautiful, warm, peachy pink for summertime. It's sheer and glossy, and it has a shimmer to it. It's so beautiful. So the way that it comes in a little crayon, and it has a slanted tip, so you don't even really need to use lip liner. I am not going to use lip liner for this look. I actually brought one up here just in case, but I think for this look I'm going to keep it very summery and very soft, no harsh lines, so I'm not going to use any lip liner. The one thing I will say about this though is this product is really, really soft, and today I was actually using it this morning and I actually kind of broke it, so try not to apply too much pressure. Because it will break easily, but it didn't break off. I just rolled it down, but that's one thing I wanted to tell you guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna layer this all over my lips, and I'm gonna build it up a few times because the color at first is pretty sheer, but you can build it to get a little more color. I just love this color. It's so beautiful, and it feels so incredible on the lips. The color isn't really long wearing though, I should tell you that, but it's a perfect shade for summertime if you're outside or going to the pool. It just looks pretty and glossy, but very lightweight and sheer. Okay, so now let's take the hair down and we'll clean up that mascara. Okay, and that completes this makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Again, it's super simple. It's nothing spectacular, but I just think it's a really pretty put together look, and it's great for summertime because it's soft and sultry. There's not a lot of harsh lines in it in the eyes or the lips. So I think it works really well for summer days or summer nights. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. And be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.